Thank you for joining me live from the grooming table. I am Amy Lee, certified professional pet groomer since 2003, but it is absolutely my pleasure to share with you the secrets of the grooming industry so you can provide quality care for your beloved pets at home. That's what we do every Monday at 5:30 Eastern Standard Time, live. Thank you for being here. I can't wait to say hello to you guys. Let me just do a quick run through and let you know what's going on tonight, what you came for, right? Tonight's topic is one that many of you may struggle with. How to keep your dog from falling off the grooming table and how to work with a difficult dog on the grooming table. Many groomers struggle with this issue too, so I created this demo for you tonight to show you several simple tricks that you can take advantage of to have successful grooming sessions with any dog. This is going to be wonderful. And I hope we get really chatty afterwards and you guys save up all your questions for me, okay? So after we're going to do a quick demo, but I want you guys to get as much out of this as possible because I have been getting a lot of questions from you guys about this very topic. So I want to make sure I cover everything for you, okay? So there are a few simple ways to keep your dog from moving, even just moving on the grooming table. Tonight is going to be a game changer for you and for your pet. So thank you for being here. I'm so glad, and I know I can help you. Our demo will show you what you need to work with your dog on the grooming table and how to use it. What do I mean by that? Well, let me just show you a couple things as I talk here. This is just going to cover some of the things we're going to be talking about today in our demo and in our live stream. Your grooming table must be large enough and strong enough to support your dog. Be sure to read the details and limitations specified with the grooming table that you're using. They come with a manual, guys. So definitely read it. Make sure you're getting the right table. Secondly, this is very important. This is probably one of the most important things to keeping your dog where he needs to be on the grooming table. You need to use a very sturdy grooming arm. A grooming arm may come with your table, but often they are inadequate, and you may need to upgrade to a stronger option. Grooming arms are adjustable, and it is important to understand how to position your dog on the grooming table with the help of a grooming arm and a grooming loop. So we're going to be talking about this in our demo. We're going to be showing you guys that, no worries. Next thing I want to talk to you guys and demo a little bit tonight is to use the Groomer's Helper grooming loop. The grooming loop is very important. A grooming arm is nothing without a grooming loop, just like a grooming table is nothing without a grooming arm. The Groomer's Helper grooming loop is my choice, guys. You know this. And this combined with a grooming arm hitch, which I'll be showing you, will keep your dog close to the grooming arm, restricting the free space available to your dog on the grooming table. It's very important. Don't worry, I'm going to go over this quite well with you guys. Another thing, now you can see this little hitch that I have attached to the grooming arm. See this little arrow pointing to it. It's also attached to the Groomer's Helper. Attaching the grooming loop to the grooming arm by using an additional loop, leash, or hitch. We'll talk about those options tonight. This is key to keeping your dog properly positioned on the grooming table, making it easy to work with them and letting them know that they need to perform up there for us. So I'm going to show you a couple of different options that we can use as a little hitch, that we can hitch our dog up to our grooming arm and to our Groomer's Helper grooming loop. And it's important to have a grooming loop that has that other ring on it as the Groomer Helper does. I'll show you, no worries. Don't worry, I'm gonna show you guys. Now, I just want to tell you real quick before I start jumping in and just blowing all this information out there, I want to let you know what we're going to be doing next week. Next week, we are testing out the Happy Hoodie. So do your homework, familiarize yourself with this product. It has many uses, it provides numerous benefits to your pet, and though it's very helpful during grooming sessions, this multi-purpose product also offers many other advantages to your pet as well. So set your reminders to join us right here, same time, same place, next Monday at 5:30 Eastern Standard Time, live from the grooming table. And we are going to be talking about the happy hoodie. So that's what we're going to do next week. But right now, I'm going to say hello to you guys because I can't wait to see you. So let me get back in the chat here and shuffle around a few things. Whew! I'm feeling the energy. So when you guys show up and you bring the energy, you don't know how much fuel that gives me for the live stream. Thank you for that. Tonight, I am saying hello to Raquel, my girl, and Live with Nicole. Guys, that's Nicole. She's a groomer. She changed her name. She's doing wonderful things. Nicole, it's great to see you. I'm so glad you're here. We haven't had you with us in a while. Kimberly's joining us from Holland. She is wiping her eyes and trying to stay awake, but God love her. She's a trooper. She's here. Thank you, Kimberly. My mom's here. I love you, Mom. Thanks for being here. You're going to like this demo, even though you don't have to worry about that because I groom your dog here. MS Love to Draw Too. That's Mary. Hi, Mary. She's got 2 Havanese doggies that she grooms on her own at home. She does a fantastic job. I've seen many pictures, but I'm glad you're here, Mary, and I hope your girls are sitting here listening, going, why doesn't this woman ever stop talking? All we ever hear is da-da-da-da-da. I hope that they enjoy the live stream too. By the way, Mary might be getting a cockapoo puppy in the spring. Anyway, she'll keep us posted on that, right, Mary? All right, we're saying hello to Susie. Hi, Susie Q from Sydney, Australia. Good grief. We're coming together all over the world, guys. This is so cool. I can't tell you how much I love this. MN Country Gal is here. That's Penny. Thank you for joining us. Just got your picture of Maggie. You sent me a beautiful picture. She had a bow in her hair. You guys will be seeing that at some time in a subscriber showdown. No worries. She looked beautiful. Pine Mountain Ventures is here. I'm so glad to see you. Thank you for joining us. And Pine Mountain Ventures says, hey, I've been looking for a good groomer arm, so what do you got for me, lady? Good. We're going to talk about options tonight, and it's so important. Now, I think you might be a groomer, Pine Mountain Ventures. Let me know that. I'm not sure because sometimes groomers are willing to spend just a little more because they use their equipment much harder. Beverly's here all the way from Alabama. Good to see you, Beverly. Thanks for coming. Here's a big hug for you. We love you. Great to see you. Triple Lotus is here and accounted for, ready to learn, ready to chit chat. Oh, and glad to see you. Joseph's here from Spain. Hi, Joseph. Thank you for joining us. This is great. My friends are here. I don't want to forget anybody. I see you, Sherry, all the way from BC. Help me out, guys. Oh, where is that? Sherry, throw it in there. I'm not good with abbreviations on everything. I need to go back to history class. But hey, thank you for being here. I'm so glad. Terry's here. Terry Smith. Raquel. Debbie Jack. Hi, Debbie Jack. Austin's here, her beautiful collie, her full collie. She says, hi, Amy. I bought Austin the organic coconut oil from Aldi. That's what I use. That you had mentioned in one of your live streams. Well, I hope he likes it. That's what Gus eats every day. Twice a day, actually. He loves it. Raquel says, Amy, I wish I had Amy's great hair. Always looks beautiful as always. Well, there's some secrets to good hair. Lighting, close-ups, and makeup always takes away. Yeah, I groomed today, Raquel. That's why my hair is always up, because I can't leave it down. But I love you for your compliments. Thank you. Shannon's here. Oh, I'm so glad. I was shopping tables this weekend, she said. Good. Okay. Well, I can tell you right now, several people in the chat have grooming tables. Portable ones. Some of them have professional grade. So we have a lot to talk about. We have a lot of options. What do you think of the grooming arm that is across the whole table with the arms on each end, and it has different hooks? I like them. We'll talk about that. I think for a home groomer especially, you'll find that to be beneficial because you can use those different hooks and a couple of different grooming loops to your advantage to keep your dog standing and positioned properly. As a professional groomer, I don't care for that type of bar, only because I feel like it gets in my way, but I'm on a time schedule. If you're grooming at home, you're not on a time schedule. You can work around it. But for me, I feel like it's an obstacle, so I don't like to have that in my way. But, you know, hey, that's just a different scenario. Yes, Mary's going to let us know when she gets a baby. Hi, Zandra. Good to see you. Just got home from work and made it here. My fur babies and I are ready to watch. Well, give them a big hug and a kiss from Aunt Amy. Hello, Amanda. British Columbia. Oh, that's where, oh, man, that's where Susie's from, too. Sherry. Holy moly, this is wonderful, guys. I am so happy. Baton Rouge, Shannon's from. Look at this. Wonderful. Donna, good to see you. I know, way to talk too much. I do talk too much. That's what I do. All right, I just love you, says Sherry. You're so inspiring. Well, I hope I keep it up. Sherry says, I groom out of my cottage on the beach. Oh, wow. That sounds perfect. I love it. All right, I bet you guys are chomping at the bit. I hope that I've said hello to every one of you because I love you and I very much appreciate you being here. But I want to give you what you came here. I want to give you the goods, right? The info. So I did put together a little demo today. I tried to explain things in detail and show you at the same time so that hopefully that helps to make everything very understandable for you and your pets if you're trying to work with them at home. Hi, CD. Thank you for jumping in, sweetie. All right, so you're just in time, babe, because now we're going to throw this down. Hang on a second here. This is our grooming table, grooming loop, grooming positioning demo, and grooming hitch. All right, the hitch is important. Pay attention. All right, so I'll see you guys right back here in a few minutes in the chat. And if you have questions, save them up. Throw a hashtag first and then your question. Then I can clearly see I have a question. And I'll scan through the chat and look for that because I don't want to leave you guys hanging. Here's your demo. Let's watch it together. If you have a grooming table and work with your dog at home on a grooming table, or if you're a professional, these are some items that are going to help you keep your dog from moving around on the table, dancing around, not very compliant. All these items can be picked up on Amazon. I'm going to link them. This particular item is a groomer's helper grooming loop. I'm going to show you the exact way to utilize this properly on the grooming table to keep your dog safe and secure. This is a nice little extension that I have found. I'm going to show you how I use this with a grooming arm and the groomer's helper in combination to keep your dog safely secured on the grooming table so they don't dance around. And this is one I made from paracord. You could make it from anything. You don't have to know how to do paracord. You could make this with any type of rope or whatever you want to do. But I'm going to show you how I use all three of these. You can choose which one would work best for you. They are very, very helpful and very necessary, guys. So that's why I am so excited to share this with you today. The first thing I want to show you is the groomer's helper grooming loop. This is very important because it has this hook on it. And the hook is fastened so it will not move. So it will stay where we want it. And it's adjustable to any dog. So it works like a collar. And you have this clamp here that allows you to adjust to for the size of your dog's neck. See this? This would be like the collar. This is adjustable. You can shorten that up if you need to. So I'm going to put it on Gus and show you how to properly use the groomer's helper before I then show you how to use the groomer's helper in combination with something else to keep your dog close to the grooming arm and facing in the direction that you want them to be faced in. Very important. So Gus, come here. Over here, honey. Come here. So Gus is a big boy. Good job, bud. He's a big boy. So this clamp is adjustable. You know, you can lock it into place when it's where you need it to be. So I'm going to open it up and we're going to put it around Gus and clamp it just like a collar. Now you want this resting in any grooming loop right here under their jaw, not here at their trachea. You want it under their jaw, if you can see this. Now, how you get it to stay there is by adjusting your grooming arm once you've adjusted your grooming loop. So I'm going to fit this to Gus, so you can see he's full of hair. So I'm going to put this fit it like you would a collar. You want to be able to nicely get 2 fingers in there, and I'm going to lock it into place. So it is right under Gus's jaw, so it's not hurting him. It's going to guide him in the right way. Now, I know, big boy. I'm going to hook it to my grooming arm. Now you can see there's a lot of play in this. That's what you don't want. If there's a lot of play, here Gus, come here. Your dog can put his head down. Meaning if I'm trimming something here, I don't want Gus's head near that. I want his head up here and away from my scissoring and clipping work. It's very important. So all grooming arms are adjustable. The more sturdy, the more quality your grooming arm is, the more adjustable it is. So I'm going to adjust this so that, here Gus, can you put your head down? He can't. See that? Here Gus, touch mommy. He can't put his head down. And he knows it. Good job. And that's okay. That's what you want. They're working here. So now I have this positioned correctly for Gus. However, Gus, stand up. Good. You can see he can still kind of move around on the table. We don't want that. Stand up, Gus. I want Gus to be right in line with that grooming arm. I want him to stay close to the grooming arm. Right now, he's got play. He could come back if he wanted to. He could step off that grooming table if he wanted to. So I'm going to change that. So the first thing I'm going to show you is this chain extension. These are nice. And I'm going to hook that just to my grooming arm. And I'm going to find that little loop. He has so much hair. It's hard to show you. I'm going to find this little loop on my groomer's helper grooming loop. And I'm going to fasten it to that. Now the cool thing about this is you can see there's room here. It's not pulling up on his trachea. Because I've attached it to here, and you want this positioned down. You don't want this to be up here pulling your dog's neck up. You want it pulling down away from the trachea. Now that is the only area that Gus has to move himself on the grooming table, but that's okay. He's up here to work, and he knows that. So we just want to make sure he's safely secured on the table. And because he's a big boy, he does pretty much take up the entire grooming table. So I need to know that he's going to stay where he needs to stay. And as you can see, he can't back up. Sorry, bud. This is as far as he can go. He could dance around and slip a leg off the table. He's not going to like that, I guarantee you, and he'll want to put himself back into place. So you want them in line with your grooming arm and close to the grooming arm. And this is one of the ways that you can keep them secured safely on the table and close to the grooming arm. Now I'm going to show you why most grooming tables are adjustable height as well. Because when I'm working with Gus, if I couldn't bring this table up, I would have to literally get down here to work with his feet, whether I'm trimming nails, trimming pads. If I'm clipping in here, I have to get down here to do all this. Well, that's where an adjustable grooming table is a godsend. So what I like to do is I like to put my hand under them to secure them. And this one here is hydraulic. So I'm pumping it up. It's okay, almost like, you know, the chairs that you sit in at your hair salon. Same idea. Now I have him up where I can work with him. And I can clearly see what I'm doing. So if I'm trimming pads, he's at a great height for me. I'm not bending, I'm not doing all this. Good job, buddy. If I'm, you know, scissoring, he's at a great height. Now he's a little high right now if I were clipping him, so I simply would bring him down a little bit. Like this. Now your grooming table may not be adjustable. So what I suggest, because if you're a home groomer and you're grooming your pet at home, I suggest that you possibly make your grooming table to fit your dog so that they're elevated just enough off the ground that you can do everything that you need to. If you have to have a stool when it comes to working with feet, then you use a stool, maybe one that's on rollers, and you can roll around the table if you need to. So you have to make it work for you. Another thing about a grooming table is you can see how the dog's mentality changes when they're on the grooming table, especially when they're properly secured on the grooming table. And if you make your own grooming table, I want to let you know that these grooming arms will fit almost anything. They'll fit a picnic table. They're adjustable. They'll fit a card table if you have a tiny dog. You can get the grooming arm. It's very important to have it, as you can see. Without it, Gus would be sitting sideways on this table right now. So you can make your own grooming table, or your spouse or a friend or somebody, you can pay somebody to do it. It's worth it. And get one of these grooming arms to mount on your grooming table for your dog. If you don't have the grooming arm, you're not going to have success. And your dog isn't as safe as they should be. That's one of the really, really important things that I want to bring home here today to you guys, is this really safely secures your dog on the table, and it also allows you to be able to work with them much better. Now here's the other option, and I use this in my shop every day. I made this. This is out of paracord. You can buy these little clasps at Walmart. You can buy them anywhere and make your own, just with rope if you want. But you just put it around your table and adjust it properly and hook it to the groomer's helper grooming hook here under their jaw. Remember, this is securing him the way he needs to be on the grooming table. It's not choking him. Trust me, I wouldn't choke my dog. I wouldn't choke any dog. But it's very important to have this set up when you're grooming your dog. This can be adjusted. So if he's dancing, if this is too much play, then let's wrap it around another time and hook it. Now, if you're having trouble trimming your dog's nails, hooking them tight like this to a grooming arm and table, you're gonna have success, I guarantee you. They know that they are more or less kind of restrained. Their space is confined when they are situated like this on a grooming table, and it's very important. So, you know, you can make your own. You can make whatever works for you. You can use an old grooming leash and just wrap it around till it's the right length that you need here for your dog. You can use another grooming loop and wrap it around and use the hook on the grooming loop to hook here on the groomer's helper. This is a game changer, guys. Please take notice of this. This is very important. Now I want to show you this grooming arm. Now you can see mine's used and abused, but it's just as strong as the day that I bought it, which was, geez, a long time ago, let me tell you. One of the benefits about them is they are adjustable. As I said, guys, very important. This one's adjustable in 2 places. Normally I would have my other hand on it to keep it from slamming, but I just want to show you the way this works. This is how it attaches under my grooming table, which is how it can attach to any table you choose. You can see how much room you have to play with this. This is kind of like a clamp adjuster, you know? So you can put a grooming arm on any table, really, and on any grooming table, unless the thickness of the table is much larger than the abilities of the clamp. You can see there's a lot of play here and how much room we have to use to clamp it to a table. So I just want you guys to know this is a game changer. The game changer in grooming your dog successfully at home is a grooming arm, a grooming loop, specifically the groomer's helper that has this hook on it. Very important. And that loop is adjustable and it locks into place. Very important. A lot of the grooming loops that come with tables, portable tables, they have no adjustments to them. Your dog could actually slip out of them. So I want to tell you that. Another very, very important thing is to have some way to hook your dog to the groomer's helper and keep them close to that grooming arm. Now here's one more option if your dog feels a little insecure on the grooming table because maybe they don't feel that they have good footing up there. They feel like they're slipping around. You can get a grooming mat that goes on your grooming table that's going to give them just a little bit of extra grip, make them feel a little bit more secure. This one I'll link in the description of the video. You could use anything, guys. You could use a bath mat. You could use a towel. If it just gives them just a little bit more grip, sometimes it makes them feel more confident when they're on the grooming table. So that's another thing. If your dog seems to be a little stressed when they're on the grooming table, try to secure their footing better by putting a mat or a towel or something underneath their feet so they feel like they're not going to slip and they feel very secure. All right. So now we're back to it here. Now we can get chitty chatty. Don't forget to put a hashtag if you can in front of your question if you have a question so I can clearly see that it's a question. Beverly says that she's been using the groomer's helper and that it's been life-changing, and she's a groomer. Never want to be without it. And from the first time that I got it, I've never been without it either. I have several of them. The groomer's helper comes in a whole kit. Like, you can get the clamp that comes with it, but it's $100, and that's fine. It's very nice. Mine actually kind of wore out. I do think it has a lifetime guarantee on it or something, but you know, I just quickly had to find another way to keep my dogs close to the grooming arm. So that's when I came up with other ideas and picked up other things. Hi, Snake Angel. How are you doing, honey? She said, I've always wanted a groomer's helper loop. I have a nice one, but not the groomer's helper. Here's the thing I want you guys to be aware of. Like, if you go to the website for a groomer's helper, you'll see, oh, here's a package for, you know, groomers, and it's, the starting package is $100, and then there's this double package that's like $250 or whatever, and that's fine if you're interested in getting the whole thing with their clamp that clamps onto the grooming arm. But you can also just buy the grooming loop with that round eye hook on the front that you can then attach to any hitch you want on the grooming arm. And that's what I ended up doing, because I see no reason to keep purchasing a $100 clamp when I can simply do what I showed you in the demo. That's what I do. You could use an old dog leash if you want, wrap it around, and you know, just make sure it's only about that long, especially if you're trimming nails. I know a lot of you guys are always saying, I can't get my dog to behave while I trim nails. The first thing is to restrict their space. Don't let them have free roam, free range on the grooming table, because you know, it does, in their mind, it changes things for them when they know, oh, you know, I really can't move, and now I just got to trust her. And that's when you work your magic with your dog. You know, you calm them down through touch, through vocalizing with them softly and gently. And it really gets your dog in a good place, having them, you know, be able to not have their movements restricted on the table, and you're really honing in their space and talking to them. You know, like that video that I released this past week with Darcy, the first untold grooming stories, pet grooming stories. You guys really seem to like that. But that's what I do with Darcy. I really get close in her space, and we work together. You know, she feels better knowing that I'm there and that I got her back. You know, they're all different though. Okay, some dogs don't like you in their space, so be careful of that. You have to really kind of see what your dog is like. You know, if it's your own dog, I think you're pretty familiar with their personality, you know. But as a groomer, you have to learn that for each dog that you work with. You have to kind of learn what they need and what they like. Here's a question here from Sherry. She says, I forgot to put a hashtag on my question. That's okay. Here's again, Does the hitch keep the dog from sitting down? No, it doesn't keep them from sitting down, Sherry. All it does is it hooks to the grooming loop, which is attached to the grooming arm, and then it hooks to the grooming arm. So they have to stay in that position, and they can't spin circles or back off your table. If you're having trouble keeping your dog standing on the grooming table, oftentimes what I do is just keep a hand under their abdomen, under their belly. I'm not like holding them up, but just having your hand there reminds them that you want them to stand, and often that's all you have to do. Sometimes if I have a dog that is having trouble standing, sometimes they don't feel comfortable standing on the table. They think, that they don't like, their footing feels uncomfortable to them, and that's where a grooming mat comes in handy too. Sometimes that'll correct that. But what I'll do is I'll take one of my gallon bottles, my gallon jugs of shampoo, and just set it underneath the dog's belly, if it's a big dog. And then if he goes to sit, he kind of gets a little poke there in his belly from the shampoo, and then they get right back up. So that's just a little trick that seems to work for me. If they still are fighting it and trying to sit on top of the shampoo bottle, then I know they really don't want to stand on the table. Then there are harnesses that we can use to also attach to the same grooming arm that we're using that our grooming loop is attached to. But this is going to go around their abdomen area, and it's soft. It's made for comfort, okay? It's made to not bother them, but it helps them. Some dogs have trouble standing because they have arthritis. And if that's the case, I let them sit through the groom as much as possible. And I only make them stand when I have to have them standing. Like if I'm trimming their underline or trimming around their hiney or trimming their feet, then I make them stand because I have to have them standing. Daniel says, the sun is warm here. Oh, I wonder where you are. I bet it is. Mary says, I have a hound hammock that suspends my babies in the air so that I can work with their legs and their feet. And that is an option. And there again, you have to have a strong grooming arm that can support that, holding that up. A lot of the grooming arms that come with the portable tables, they're not very sturdy. They're not very substantial. And if you're working with a bigger dog that may not be comfortable with the grooming table, you may not like that grooming arm. You might want to upgrade it. And you can upgrade your portable grooming table's grooming arm. It still clamps on the same way as the one that came with it. Now, there are many different makes of grooming arms. I do use an Ademco. I think Debbie asked me that. My grooming table is an Ademco. That stand dryer right there, that's an Ademco. I use a lot of Ademco a lot of equipment from them. They're just industrial strength, good stuff. I mean, lasts forever. And my grooming arm is beat. You saw it. It's just the finish from being used so much. And I can get it refinished, and I probably will. I just can't stand to be without it, to go have it refinished. So there's nothing wrong with it. It works perfect. It's just as strong as the day that I got it. But it just doesn't look as pretty because it gets a workout, that's for sure. Does anybody else have any questions? Melissa says, I'll need to buy one. I'm sorry, but I'm arriving late to the video. Can I get it from Amazon? All these things you should be able to. The Ademco grooming arm, I don't think you can get from Amazon. You can give it a search, but Ademco is spelled, let me spell it in the chat. Ademco has their own website, and they also have other people. They also have other vendors that sell their products and their equipment. Debbie was asking, she's going to a grooming show. Usually Ademco has their own booth. Every show I've been to, they have. I would say the show in California, it's a big show. I would say that they are going to have their own booth there too. You can get the show lineup. Usually, now that show's in February. Usually they have a website. Just type in the name of the show, Debbie, into a Google search and look for whoever's hosting it. I'm trying to think of who hosts that show. I don't think it's Barkley. There's a couple of them that host it. But anyway, list the vendors that are going to be there. Usually you can get like an itinerary through the website for the show and see what vendors are going to be there. I did link, I think it's a pet lift. I did link that one in the description of this video. I was looking on Amazon to see what Amazon had to offer, and I was pretty impressed with that one too. And I've seen them. What I look for in a grooming arm is one that adjusts in the middle here and down at the base of the table, so I can get a lot of height out of my arm. If I'm working on a big dog like a Great Dane or something, you know, I need to adjust that height so that the dog is positioned in a very sturdy way, like I demonstrated in the demo. You guys can go back and watch that demo. I will be uploading it at a later date on my channel. So it is just demonstrating how to use a grooming table, how to use a grooming loop, how to use a grooming arm, and how to hitch your dog to the grooming arm. That's very important. That's what keeps them straight on the table. And it keeps them from having the room to dance around and fall off the table. That's what you don't want. All right, so Melissa says, I'm from Canada, so our choices for grooming products aren't always as good as in the US. Oh, that stinks, doesn't it? I think a Demco, I'm not sure. You should be good with them. Sherry says, one of my dogs is a 54-pound, three-legged dog. So far, I try to do everything with her lying on the sofa. Any tips to support her on the table? She is too heavy to support with my hand. Okay, have you worked with her on the table, Sherry? Because I just want to say this. I know three-legged dogs are just as strong as four-legged dogs. There's two-legged dogs that can stand. I mean, it's amazing what dogs can do. I would say don't treat her like she's handicapped, honey, because I'm pretty sure she's pretty tough. If you have a grooming table, work with her on it. Her three legs should support her just fine. If you have to pick up, say if she's missing a back leg, if you have to pick up the other back leg, often I get under and lean on dogs. I let them, you know, I support them. I'll get under and lean on them and pull that leg up to trim nails or trim the foot or whatever. But if that doesn't work, like Mary said, she has a hound hammock, and I believe you can get those on Amazon. You might want to take a look at that. That might work for you, Sherry. There are lots of options for dogs that can't stand. There's always Dee Dee, that's my favorite groomer. She made the dog up stand, and she has a website, and it helps them stand. That might be a great option for you, Sherry. Now, I think you're out of the country. I'm not sure. I think she can still get it to you. So, you know, you just want to go to her website, and you can find her on YouTube as well. Send her an email. She'll get back to you. I guarantee it. But I get it. So that's your dilemma. Your dog has three legs, which she probably can stand just fine on the table with her three legs. But if you want a little extra support, there are some options. So look at the hammock and look at the dog up stand. Debbie Jack said, yes, it's up already. Okay, for the itinerary, and Demco's on the list. I thought they're at every show because they are, you know, they make great grooming tables. They make wonderful dryers, grooming arms, very sturdy. There's a lot of vendors at the shows for grooming arms. If anybody has a show near them anytime this year and you want to check out grooming arms, there's some vendors that make their own grooming arms, and they're very nice. So, you know, you just need to know that you're looking for something that's sturdy, that's stable, and that is very adjustable. Gives you a lot of adjustment. That's very important. They're all universal with how they clamp on any table, so don't worry about that. Mary says, hi, Bridget. How are you? I'm so glad to see you, honey. Oh, wait a minute here. Zandra says, I've spent a week getting my Yorkie comfortable in his new grooming table. I just got it, and they are starting to relax on the table. And I just turned the clippers on and run down their body and head, just getting them used to it. Good for you, Zandra. You're working your magic. That's what you got to do. You ease them into the grooming process slowly so they can accept it. And then when they know they're proud, that you're proud of them and they worked for you, they like that. Dogs want to please us. You know, I swear, I think they think that's their whole job on this earth is to please us. It's almost like, guys, do you ever take a day off, you know? But Mary says that she found the hammock to the grooming arm. Oh, she attaches the hammock to the grooming arm. Okay, awesome. You got to check that out, Sherry. That sounds like might be a great solution for you. Sherry says she's very tough. She's talking about her 3-legged dog. She's very tough. I haven't tried her on the table yet. I am so afraid of her back leg getting injured. She also does agility. Girl, if she does agility, put baby in that girl. She's a tough one. I think she'll be fine on a grooming table. But if you want a little bit of extra stability for her, then you got those couple options. You look for that dog up stand by My Favorite Groomer. You can find her on YouTube. And the hammock that Mary's talking about. I've seen others use them. Absolutely. I don't know what Daniel's saying. How to cut doctor dogs. I don't know what that means. Have no idea, honey. Zandra says they're getting used to the grooming arm as well. It is an adjustment. See, Zandra just got a whole grooming setup for her pets at home, table and grooming arm. The grooming helper grooming loop is so good because it adjusts perfectly to every dog, and you want it to fit perfect. Some of the other grooming loops are just so generic, and the dogs kind of slip out of them, and that's not safe. I like the Groomer's Helper grooming loop. You don't have to get the whole Groomer's Helper ensemble. You just get the grooming loop. You can make any hitch situation that you want. I covered many of them in the demo, guys. Sherry says, I don't see how to attach the hound hammock to the grooming arm. Well, it probably comes up and has hooks, and then you would probably need additional like grooming loops or something that come from the hammock to the grooming arm. I would imagine it's something like that. Now, I've never used one, so I can't tell you. I do have something. Hold on, let me grab it, okay? I have something that I used. Hi, Desiree. Thank you, honey. I have something that I used in the past for a Sheltie that couldn't stand. He got to be way too old and he had terrible arthritis. I'm going to grab it right now and we're going to talk about it. All right. Oh, Gus is sleeping. Gus is asleep. I got a couple things. I should have had these at the ready. I wasn't prepared for this tonight, guys. Look at me. I failed you. All right, let me put my mic back on so you can hear me. So y'all can hear me. All right. So this is one option, Sherry. This has hair on it, but this is basically a grooming loop. Now, I bought this from the company that made my electric table, which is made by Viper, and they had these, which is very nice. This is adjustable, so you can adjust, you know, the height and everything like that, for depending on how tall your dog is or whatever. But this, and you can get these, guys. You can use a regular grooming loop as long as it's an oversized one, if you're going to be putting it around the middle section of your dog. But you can get these. These are like a seatbelt cover. You can get them at Walmart. Okay, you can even use that under their chinny chin chin on a grooming loop. However, it does create a not so secure situation as far, if your dog is very good and will not get off the table, like Gus won't get off the table unless I tell him to. If your dog is like that, then you could get away with something soft like this and simple, you know, but this is an option, and this adjusts, oh, that was loud, I'm sorry. This adjusts so you would slip this through under the belly of your dog, right at his back legs, under his belly, and hook it to the grooming arm, as well as have his grooming loop on him as well, because you don't want them unleashed on the table, and hooked to the grooming arm. So this is an option. Another option is this. This is what I used to use on my Sheltie that had trouble. He had trouble standing. He was getting old. His legs will go through there, okay? And then you can see these little rivets, and you know the little chain hooks that I demoed today in the demo? That's what you use to attach this to a grooming loop, then attach it to your grooming bar. And this holds him. So it would be, this is under his belly and his 2 legs are through there. And his butt is just out there and his tail. So those 2 things really help assist in a dog that is having trouble standing up. And it helps a lot, okay? Let me just go back and make sure I didn't finally made it. Oh, it's a hi, Trisha. Good to see you, honey. All right. Desiree's here too. Hi, Desiree. Raquel says, everybody smash that like button. Yeah, go ahead. It helps Amy's videos. It sure does. It tells YouTube that I don't suck. Unless you think I'm suck. If I suck, give it a thumbs down. That's even good too. So you can go ahead and do that. But it's okay. Hi, Sue. How are you doing? I made the same thing you did. Every dog I've seen with the dog up stand usually steps off it before you're done. Yeah, I've never used the dog up stand, so I can't say how I feel about it. But it's an option. It's out there. So I just thought I would mention it. Sherry, another question says, I think I get it. I was thinking you needed the bar over top. No, you don't, honey. I'm going to Northwest Grooming Show in Tacoma in May. Good. Make your list of things that you want to check out and visit many different vendors and compare products and see what you think would be best for your dog. But no, say here's the grooming arm. Okay, and here's where this hooks to your dog. Here's your dog's noose. When you have the belly band around, that hooks here too. So now you have 2 things hooked to your grooming eye. That's all it is, Sherry. That's how it works. So, okay, so Beverly said, Beverly, have you tried the dog up stand? I have not. I haven't tried it, so I can't say. It doesn't sound like you care for it either. I don't know. I never used it. Sherry says she has another question. Sherry, don't feel bad about asking questions. You fire away, girlfriend. How to send pictures of my mutts? Well, my email is in the description of every video, honey. And you send me your pictures through an email, and the next subscriber showdown that I put together, they'll make it in. I have to work on that. I've been really busy with school. In fact, I have a test I have to take when I'm done here tonight. I'm a little jammed. But it's all right. I get it done. But I've been having trouble doing a lot of subscriber showdowns and keeping up with the content. I want to make sure that I at least give you some good content, for our topics. But yes, so Sherry, my email address is in the description. This is for everybody. My email address is in the description of every video. If you go to my channel, my email address is there in the About section. You can email me pictures of your dogs. I would absolutely love it. If you want to email me pictures of something you're struggling with, say, look, I trimmed her head. I don't like it. What do you think I could do different? Or, hey, look, I gave my dog a haircut. Isn't it great? Send it to me. I'd love to see it. Absolutely. Because I get excited over that kind of stuff. I get you guys. I get it, okay? Tammy says, hi, Amy. I'm here. I watched the rest of it. No problem, Tammy. Thank you for jumping in. It's good to see you. Debbie has a question. She says, do you use any type of product to clean your brushes and combs? Yes, actually, I use Clorox cleanup. That's what I use because I know it kills germs, and then I rinse it with hot water. I probably would be fine to rinse with hot water. Hot water does kill a lot of things, hot water. But oftentimes I just use Clorox cleanup and then heavily rinse it with hot water to get all the product off. Plus, if the Clorox cleanup sits on your brushes, it's going to wear away at them. It's strong, it's potent. There's a lot of different disinfectants that you can use. I pretty much just go for what I know is going to use and is going to work, and that's what I do. But Debbie, if you're only grooming your own dog, you really don't have to worry about that. I don't really clean Gus's brush that I have upstairs, so I just grab it and use it. It's his brush, and he doesn't have any skin problems right now. If he did, that would be different. Then I would have to clean it and worry that maybe I could contaminate him again, so I don't want to do that. Beverly says, you and June are my favorite groomers. Well, thank you. I like June too. We haven't seen him in a while. Sue says you can also use this step-in halters. I think that's kind of what I showed you. Snap them to your loop And for the back, just put it on backwards. Raquel! Raquel's super chatting. Hold on, guys. I got to take a minute. I got to salute my girl. Thank you, Raquel. I appreciate that. I love you. Thank you for appreciating all my jibber jabber. I hope that I bring value to you guys, you know, and give you things that you can do with your pets at home to make your lives easier, make it easier on your pet. Thank you, Raquel. Beverly says Gus is very best, extremely well mannered, and also looks marvelous. Thank you, Beverly. He does need a groom. He really does. He's very overgrown. He needs a groom. I was brushing him out today, but I enjoy working with him. It's great to work with your own dogs, guys. We are truly bonded. Part of it is because of all the grooming I do with him, all the brushing. But another part of it is because he is with me all the time. He comes to work with me every day. Hi, Kelly. How are you? She says, oh, my God, this is my first time on live stream. Love this. Well, good to see you, Kelly. Thanks for joining. How about we give Kelly a big welcome? Yes. Kelly's here. She's here. She finally made it. Good for you. Now you know what this fun's all about, don't you? Yeah, it's an adrenaline rush. Melissa says, me too. I'm glad you're here too, Melissa. So do I have any more questions from my favorite people? I'm hoping that I really covered things well, especially with the importance of keeping your dog close to the grooming arm, because that does not allow them to have area to dance around and get crazy on your table. Thank you, Raquel. I appreciate that, honey. So that the hitch, along with the groomer's helper grooming loop and a grooming arm, those things are so vital to your grooming session with your dog and keeping them safe and making sure that they work well with you. That's the biggest message I want to send here today. It's not just the table. Without the grooming loop, without the grooming arm and hitching them to the grooming arm, the groom may not be as successful. So that's the takeaway for today, okay, guys? I want you to remember that. Zandra said they're getting used to the grooming arm. She just got new equipment for her dogs at home. And they will get used to it, Zandra. Don't worry. Spend time with them up there. Just brush them. Hey, just talk to them sometimes and touch them while they're up there. Get them up there. Get them up there a lot. And they will learn that the grooming table is a place where they need to work for you. And they want to please you. So it's going to go well. Desiree says here she has a question. When scissoring, how can I prevent my thumb from slipping through the thumb hole? Great question. I got an answer. Are those rubber inserts a standard size or do they fit all scissors? You can get different sizes. Oh, shoot. My scissors, I can't reach them. They're in the drawer. The thumb hole, what are they called? Throw it in there, Nicole. Help me out. What are those things called? The thumb rests that you can get to insert in your shears. I have to have them in all my shears, Desiree. I guess it depends on the size of your fingers. My fingers are thin, I guess, so I have to use them actually on both. They make different sizes. They make them for the smaller part of the shank, part of the scissor action, whatever that's called. And they make it for the thumb, the finger and the thumb. They make different sizes. And you can order them online, I guarantee you. You could go to cherrybrook.com. They have pretty much everything that you would need, odds and ends. Davis.com probably has them. I can guarantee you Kenchi.com has them. All these places have them. Rubber inserts. Thank you, Nicole. And they just fit inside. Gosh darn it. I'm going to go get it. I can't stand to not show you things. I'm going to get my shears. See, when I'm hooked up to the mic, I can't move. All right. We'll get two pairs out here and show you. Put the mic back on. I don't stab myself. Whoops. Okay. So this is for the thumb hole here. Without that, my thumb would slide way in there. There's no doubt. Look, I'll take it out. They just insert in there. You guys might find this. I'm glad you brought it up. I can't get it out. It's probably been in there forever there. But now you can see what happened. I can't scissor like that. You want your thumb to just, the tip of your thumb to be resting in your shear. But look, I can't scissor like this. That my scissoring would look absolutely horrible. So I have to have these little inserts in here because of the size of my thumbs and my fingers. Now, everybody's different. We're all made in different sizes, but I have to have them. So now my thumb will not, it will if I push hard, but it sits there. Plus they're a little bit rubbery, so your finger kind of sticks to it. And I have it, on my shears too. This one is on both sides. I have to, because my fingers will slip out of them. They make them, and they are wonderful. And some people wouldn't be able to scissor without them. So just look it up. You'll find them, Desiree. They're everywhere. They're probably even on Amazon, I would say. Beverly says, Janie is with me 24/7 too. Janie's her bulldog. Oh, wouldn't have it any other way. I love having my dog with me. Sandra says, I brush Tinker and Bella daily now on the new grooming table, and we bond together, and they look forward to it. I know, I'm telling you, that's exactly what happens. You're increasing the bond with your pet when you're grooming them. As long as you make it nice, make it enjoyable. It's not a horrible thing. If you don't enjoy grooming, if it's more of a chore and you don't want to do it, then for God's sake, take your dog to a groomer. But if you enjoy it, you're going to bond with your dog, no doubt. Sue says, I'm 69 and still grooming. Oh, wow, this is great. You think you will still be grooming at 69? Shoot, lady, I don't know. I bet you're in good shape too. I try to stay in good shape. I have to, or my body just feels terrible from grooming. It's important. 69, Sue is. I bet you've been grooming a long time. It's probably what's kept you so young, Nicole says, pretty sure they usually come in packs of multiple sizes. I agree. I think you can get like a value pack of them, Nicole, of the thumb inserts. Definitely. Kenchi has them, Beverly says. I would think so. I would think any shear manufacturer would have them, but you may be able to get some inexpensive ones off of Amazon, so I would check a couple places, because there really is nothing to them. You certainly don't want to overpay for something like that. Sherry says, thank you so much, everyone, for the hints. So that's what we get together for, Sherry. I'll send pics of my beautiful pooches soon. Both are rescues. Boy, I love that. One from Thailand. Holy moly. And one from Bahrain. I'm not sure. Bahrain. Holy moly. This is really neat. Debbie Jack says, I need to get some of those rubber inserts. Yep. You can get them at the show, Debbie. All the vendors will have them. And Mary says, I recently started grooming and I'm 64. I plan on doing it a long time. That's right, Mary. That's the spirit. Glad to hear it. And Mary, you don't look 64. You look so young, so pretty. I think grooming keeps us young. What do you guys think? Sue has been grooming for 52 years. And yes, it's important to take care of yourself. Sue, where do you live? Where are you grooming from? That is fabulous. Boy, most groomers don't last past 10 years. Am I right, Sue? They can't do it. They get bad knees, they get arthritis, they get problems with their wrist. I haven't had any problems with my wrist or anything. Every now and then my back would hurt, but as long as I try to keep my weight at a good place, I find my back doesn't hurt much. So if I gain a few pounds, I feel it. I feel it in my back with grooming, but we do have to take care of ourselves. And hey, it's a good reason then. If we have to groom our dogs, it's a good reason that we take care of our bodies, right? Tennessee, oh, that's awesome. Was in Tennessee last summer. I love Tennessee. It's beautiful. We were in the Smoky Mountains. So you guys have any more questions? Did I miss anything? I hope not. I think we covered it. I am going to end up putting that video out there on its own at some point so that you guys can refer to it, at a later date. I do have one video on my channel. I should have linked it. I'll link it in a card after this is on the replay at some point. But I have a video called How to Groom a Difficult Dog. And on the thumbnail it says Doodle Bad Dog. And basically what it is there's 3 different dogs in that video that I'm working with, 3 different scenarios. One is old, and that's what makes him hard to work with. Another one is very nervous and big, and it makes her hard to work with. And the last one lacks a little bit of confidence on the grooming table. So I show you 3 different scenarios how I try to help those dogs feel more confidence on the grooming table. That's a good video. So it's called How to Work with a Difficult Dog. It's on my channel. And the thumbnail says Doodle Bad Dog. Sandra says, I love your channel and you're teaching us dog lovers so much. You love a thumbs up to you. Thank you very much. I want to help. Here's the thing, you guys are going to do it anyway. I want you to be able to do it right. I want you to know, to avoid pitfalls, to avoid buying bad equipment, to avoid buying things that aren't going to work for you. I know you guys are going to do it anyway. Like I have had people say, don't you think pet groomers are going to hate what you're doing? And I'm like, gosh, I wish as a pet groomer all these years I had a channel like mine that I could refer to and kind of be better together and talk to other people that were in my situation. There was nothing, and groomers didn't like to share information. They didn't like to share. And I think that's not the way I roll. So it's my pleasure to share. And I see no reason not to share. I think it benefits pets. I love pets. I love dogs especially. And there's a lot of things that I know that you guys don't know that I know can help you. So I want you to know that information. That's why I do this. I do. And I love your dogs. Debbie says, Mary, that encourages me more to learn how to groom professionally. Oh, that Mary's 64? Yes, see? She says, hey, no problem. I can do it. And same with Sue. Sue's like, I'm 69. I can out-groom all of y'all. She probably could. Oh, I'm good, dogs and video. Oh, Daniel. So I'm going to throw a subscriber showdown up for you guys. I agree, Amy. I hate to see the nastiness in the industry. Me too, Nicole. There's no place for that. That's silliness, I agree. So I'm going to throw a subscriber showdown on for you guys to leave you with just a big smile on your face. Start your week off right this Monday. I can't wait to see you next Monday. Remember, we're going to be demoing the Happy Hoodie and finding all the cool uses for it. So guys, go ahead and research that product. Research that product too, so that you have an idea if that's something that you think would benefit your dog. Dogs that mind the clipper noise and drying and stuff like that, it's very helpful. Apparently, I'm going to try it. Okay, I'll let you know. I've never used one. Debbie, Jack, and everyone have a great week. Awesome. Raquel says a safe week. Nothing but love for all of you. Oh, she's the best. #1 Go Groomer fan. You bet. Terry Smith, thanks once again. No problem. Thank you all. And Tammy, thanks for coming. I just saw how I used to cut my Lhasa Apso when he was alive. It was dangerous. Well, I know. That's why I'm here. I'm here to help. Thank you, Triple Lotus. We are better together. You darn right we are. I love you guys. All right, here's your subscriber showdown. I will see you next week. Have a wonderful weekend. It's not here yet, but I'll see you after the weekend. All right, guys.